Well, I've got Ian St John and Terry Yorath with me. Ian, you weren't hearing Jimmy Greaves, but in point of fact, he's gone for Scotland.
Has he? How did he get the best seat in the house, by the way? I mean, we're sitting up here on top of the Welsh Mill Boys Choir, and the atmosphere is electric. It's fantastic.
Well, I've never heard a crowd as noisy as this one. And Terry Yorath, 59 caps for Wales. Tell me about this Welsh crowd tonight, and the Scots.
I've played here many a time, Brian, and this is the most vociferous I've ever heard Wales. And the two crowd, they're quite close to each other beneath us here, and they seem to be getting on quite well, and I hope it keeps that way.
Well, we wait the arrival of the two teams, and it is such a crucial game. Although in this group there is still one important game to be played in Seville later this month. Spain against Iceland. It's a fantastic test of nerve here tonight. Down the short tunnel they come, led by the Dutch referee Jan Keizer. Scotland and Wales. The Scots, who've qualified for the last three World Cups in 74, in 78 and 82. The Welsh, who've not qualified since 1958. I have to say, the conductor bravely waving his baton. Whether or not he's playing a national anthem now, up in our gantry, it's difficult to tell. So the national anthems, not that we heard them up here, I have to say, and a few presentations yet to be made. Ian St John, tell me how you feel Scotland should be viewing the match tonight.
Well, I think Jock Stein has picked a side that will battle tonight, because I think he feels that we were physically assaulted a little bit up at Hampden Park, and the Welsh gave us a really hard time there. And I think he's picked a side to go out and compete tonight, because as you know, we only need the draw, and I think we've picked a team that will get the draw.
I'll talk to Terry in just a moment, but let's take a check on the two teams. And Wales first at full strength, looking with high hopes to the striking partnership of Rush and Hughes, a splendid backbone to what people regard as the best Welsh side in years, with men like Kevin Ratcliffe at the centre of the defence, and behind him in goal, his splendid Everton teammate Neville Southall. Scotland without Graham Souness suspended and Kenny Dalglish injured. Now with the gamble of a new striking partnership of Graham Sharp of Everton and David Speedie of Chelsea, each of them with only one cap to their credit. So much, though, will depend on how McLeish, Miller and Aitken can subdue Rush and Hughes. Oh, well, there is Mark Hughes. 6 goals this season for Manchester United. He is a major threat to the Scots. As indeed is this man, Ian Rush, who of course scored that brilliant winner when the sides met at Hampden Park last spring. Well, the Scots with Speedy and Sharp as their attacking thrust. Well, there they both are. Speedy and Sharp, what marvellous names for striking players, but each with only 1 cap. Graham Sharp here having played in Iceland, David Speedy having played against England at Hampden Park. Jan Kaiser, the 44-year-old Dutchman who refereed Wales against Spain in the World Cup when Wales had that fabulous 3-0 win. He's here again in Wales. And it'll be Wales who kick off. I cannot begin to tell you the volume of noise we've got around here tonight. I just hope through it all that you can make some sort of sense of what we're saying. Well, Wales get us underway. Attacking the goal to our left in red shirts, white shorts. Scotland, of course, in blue. As Jacket plays it in, let's get an early word from Terry Yorath about Welsh prospects.
I think Welsh prospects are very high tonight, Brian. The Welsh team should be coming to this game full of confidence, not only with the way they've been playing, but with the injuries and suspensions that Scotland have had.
Sharp not making contact, and neither did Ratcliffe. It was Vanden Hauwe who got that one away. Miller in quickly, the captain for Scotland, and a safe catch by Neville Southall.
Terry and I were saying before the game we wondered where Joey Jones would play, if he would play at centre-back or full-back, and I see he's lined up at right full-back.
Right full-back, with the centre-backs Vanden Hauwe and Ratcliffe. Miller going across for Scotland and booting it into the crowd. The qualification is still very complicated depending upon that match in Spain later this month. Just bear in mind that Wales are desperately looking for a victory to progress. Scotland, a draw or a victory would suit them. There is 1 qualification place from this group, and here comes Scotland again now, trying to find David Speedy. 1 qualification place, and the team that finishes second, as Southall gathers that, the team that finishes second goes into a playoff with the Oceanic group for a place in Mexico. In that Oceanic group, Israel, New Zealand, Australia and Taiwan. Well, a problem there straight away, Ian St John.
Well, a little problem. I thought Hughes went in a bit late there and was doing a bit of pushing and shoving, and this is the type of thing that happened up at Hampden, and the Scots obviously don't like it, and they're not going to stand for it tonight. I have noticed that Richard Gough has got the job of marking Mark Hughes tonight, so they brought him in from the right back spot to mark Hughes, so that's Hughes and Rush being picked up. McLeish is picking Rush up and leaving Willie Miller to do the business as a sweeper, yeah.
So Gough on Hughes and McLeish on Rush. There's Rush and there's McLeish, hard at him, and a foul and a booking for McLeish. A booking for McLeish with a little over 3 minutes gone as Rush is on the ground. That's a bad start to the game, Terry Yorath.
From a Welsh point of view, the first incident when McLeish went in after Hughes, I thought good. It was always going to happen here. He lost his head earlier on, and there he's done it again.
Well, Rush is sitting up, and a booking for McLeish with a little over 3 minutes of the game gone. Well, we knew it would be a supercharged atmosphere here, and we're certainly not disappointed. Rush is on his feet and gone forward. Vanden Hauwe with the free kick. And some pushing down by Mickey Thomas, I think it may have been. A free kick to Scotland.
Well, there's certainly going to be no prisoners taken tonight, that's for sure. It's going to be a real physical game, and the atmosphere with the crowd, as you say, Brian, very highly charged, and it's not an easy game for any of the players.
Ratcliffe versus Speedy. Stevie Nicol. But Malpass couldn't keep it in, and a throw to Wales. Nicholas towards Rush, stopped by Miller. Robbie James. Nicholas again towards Rush. They quickly close in on Rush. His little flick didn't allow the ball to come back though to Phillips. And a free kick to Scotland. My word, it's an incredible atmosphere. It's like a bear pit out there tonight. And there is an enormous responsibility on the players tonight. There's no two ways about that, because the atmosphere is just as supercharged on the terraces all around us. Sharp not getting a touch. Joey Jones. Oh, Vanden Hauwe in the end getting it back to Southall. McLeish beating Rush. Robbie James. And that was Nicholas. And the free kick is given, or rather Phillips on Speedy, and a free kick to Scotland.
I think the referee's going to know he's been in the game tonight as well, Brian, the way things have started.
I think you've got to feel sorry for the referee, Terry, because I mean, he's got to try and calm things down here, and both teams are going at each other, and the way it's shaping out at the moment, you think, well, they won't finish the game with 11 men on the pitch each.
Speedy. Oh, and he's found Nicol. And here come Wales. But Miller cutting it out before it gets through to Rush. Plays the long ball forward, and Southall right outside his penalty area. It's a packed house of some 39,000 here at Ninian Park. And the receipts overall, after television rights and ground advertising taken into account, something around £500,000, which is a record for Wales. And as they say, that will keep them financially fairly secure right through to the next World Cup, coming up to 4 years. Rush. A little break again there, but Robbie James couldn't get the right sort of cross in. That wasn't a very good bit of play, but another Welshman is down and Willie Miller is there, but a free kick goes to Scotland, and it was Hughes who was down.
Well, that's twice the referee has penalised Hughes for going in late, and I must say, you know, up in Scotland in the game at Hampden, he did that numerous occasions, and I think the referee is, you know, I don't know if somebody's told him about it, but he's very wise to it, Terry, isn't he?
If you notice then, when Hughes got up off the ground, he looked to see if the referee was booking him. I think he expected it that time.
Sharp after this, jumping a little too early. A shove, a free kick to Scotland. Well, I think we must have had 7 or 8 free kicks in the first 8 minutes. Strachan for Bet. Robbie James across there with him to try and hold up the cross. Strachan just flicking it now for Bet, right-footed in towards Graham Sharp. Brandon Howe, his Everton teammate, beating in the air, and Joey Jones, or rather Kenny Jackett, getting the ball into touch for Wales. Nicol with it for Scotland, a new short haircut for him. Strachan, will this come for Gough to try a shot? And a throw to Wales. The 101st international between these two nations, and I suppose rarely, if ever, has there been a more important one. Here comes Scotland again, or indeed a noisier one. Hughes trying to dance his way through, and the ball played back a long way there by Roy Aitken. The ball coming off Joey Jones. It'll be a throw to Scotland. Maurice Malpass with it. It's Aitken trying to find Nicol. Crossed in once more towards Strachan and Speedy. Speedy battling away, and the flag has stayed down as Nicol gets his cross in towards Bet on the far side, and no chances there from Joey Jones. Terry Orth.
I think Wales have got to watch Nicol down the right-hand side here. Any move that Scotland have had so far have all been through him. He's breaking behind Mickey Thomas, and that's what they've got to watch.
Well, they've got to watch the corner coming up now, which little Strachan will take. 10 minutes of this World Cup qualifier gone. 0-0. Short to Jim Bet. Here's Strachan again. Now for Bet, onto the left foot, and a chance to measure up across, a deeper one there. And it was Wales who got it away through Mickey Thomas. Jackett, the long ball forward. Rush is on it, rather Hughes is on his way. Miller's holding it off, and no foul. But the speed of Hughes for a moment was an embarrassment for Miller, and Scotland lucky to get away with it. And now the battle's at the other end. Here's Sharp with Speedy waiting in the middle, into the side netting, and a goal kick. The speed of Hughes was quite exceptional there.
Well, that's a ball that Scotland have got to be very careful about. The one played over the top into space, and Willie Miller had about 2 yards start, but Hughes certainly caught up with him.
McLeish, but it wasn't McLeish, it was Hughes. Jim Leighton's clearance. Brandon Howe, there was a foul that time by Ratcliffe on Sharp. One Everton player on another. A free kick to Scotland. Thank goodness, I think the noise has subsided a little just for a moment.
I think also, Brian, I think the players have just cooled down a little bit now as well, and they're getting on with the football.
Strachan, can Speedy turn it? Goal kick. A whole army of Scottish fans have been marauding around Cardiff for most of the day. I'm bound to say police and taxi drivers that I've spoken to have said, well, they've been pretty well behaved and in a good humour.
They were just delighted to see the sun out today, Brian. You know, I haven't seen it in Scotland for 6 months.
Good jump there by Nicol. Jackett of Watford towards Ian Rush. Miller's right there with him, but Rush won it in the air. Nicol back there, and a throw to Wales. David Phillips will take it. Kenny Jackett at the near post, but he didn't get a touch on that one. Oh, Nicholas, the cross is in low, and a goal! Mark Hughes! A tremendous challenge there by Peter Nicholas. puts it wide of Leighton, and Wales are in the lead. His 10th cap for Wales and his 6th goal for them. An amazing strike rate there. A foul by Thomas, a free kick to Scotland. What a brilliant start for Wales, Terry Europe.
Just the start they wanted. Peter Nicholas went through 2 Scottish players there in a good tackle, and his cross found Hughes, and what a finish.
Wales 1, Scotland 0. 14 minutes gone. Robbie James, Rush could do nothing with that. Miller. Joey Jones with a header. Strachan trying to get it in. It was Vanden Hauwe who got it away. Hughes again. Lovely skill. And a touch for Jackett. Can't emphasise too strongly the work of Peter Nicholas in that Welsh goal. Rush, and McLeish gets it back. Composure called for from the Scots now. Here's Steve Nicol. Ratcliffe away. Willie Miller. Remember, a draw would satisfy the Scots. A victory would delight the Welsh. Ian St John.
Well, it was a class goal by a class player. What can you say? You know, certainly Nicholas did well, but I mean, Mark Hughes just hit it. Fantastic how he can do it. Just hit it as it come to him. A great goal. And I don't think the Scottish defenders really can blame themselves.
Rush battling away. McLeish right at his heels again. Mickey Thomas trying to get in. Jackett jumping for this one, but out-jumped by Sharp. Jump by Ratcliffe, but it falls for Strachan. A strong challenge by Phillips. Scotland's throw. Speedy. A throw to Wales.
I think that Wales, the team now, need the composure, Brian. The next few minutes are going to be vital for them.
Thomas couldn't keep it in. Mickey Thomas has only had 3 reserve games for Chelsea since he broke his jaw in a friendly at the start of the season at Enfield. But he was telling me he's a naturally fit fellow and feels ready for the battle tonight. There's Richard Gough with a long free kick for Scotland. Graham Sharp knocking it on towards Jim Bett, but Joey Jones, great old Welsh stalwart. Joey Jones winning his 67th cap tonight. Here's Strachan. Aitken playing it in. Sharp being forced away. Comes in the end for Hughes. That's a little too ambitious. So difficult to play composed football now in this atmosphere, though.
Well, that's right, and as I said before, Scotland have picked a team to battle, and we have 1 or 2 players sitting on the bench who are better footballers, and I always felt it was better to try and come and play football here rather than get involved in the battling.
Miller. Thomas. Jackett off balance, but still got it towards Rush, but Miller was there again first, and Malpass's back header safely reaches Jim Leighton, the Aberdeen goalkeeper. Nicol battling to get to it, but won't reach it. It'll be a throw to Wales. If you've just joined us, 18 minutes gone. The singing comes from the Welsh supporters. They are leading by a goal to nil, with Mark Hughes of Manchester United the scorer. And here's Hughes on the ball now. Here's Rush on his way. Scots are coming back as quickly as they can. Robbie James has gone through the middle, and Scotland get it away. Rush again. Finding Hughes. Now Nicholas. Now Jones. Welsh fans enjoying this little bit, but this will be cleared by Steve Nicol to Gordon Strachan. Sharp will not keep it in.
The pace of Hughes and Rush definitely embarrassing Miller and McLeish at the moment, and I think those two have got to get the composure back to help Scotland.
And it's interesting to note that Rush and Hughes have played 6 times for Wales. This is the 7th, and when they've played together, they have never been on the losing side. Well, there's Hughes finding James, finding Jones. The early ball comes in towards Robbie James. Oh my goodness, that was close. Good move by Wales. Scotland at full stretch there. Nice combination, a delicate little cross in. Robbie James with the jump. And you can see how close it was. Nicholas. Mickey Thomas. The clash with Steve Nicol. Strachan. Aitken. With a chip in towards Speedy. Good covering though by Vanden Hauwe. Scotland's throw. Strachan. Well, I'm quite sure England, who have the match against Romania tomorrow, are watching, as the crowd are asking, as they prepare for their World Cup encounter. Speedy. Jones. Good piece of refereeing. Mark Hughes ran into a Scottish player, fell as though he was poleaxed. The referee saw it all and gave, quite rightly, gave nothing. Good hustling there by Graham Sharp. Strachan playing it in. Aitken trying to get something on the turn and might still succeed. Graham Sharp again. Here's Stevie Nicol. Strachan. Sharp. Scots keeping possession well. Can't get that killer ball in at the moment, but get a throw. Which big Roy Aitken will take. Thomas in quickly. Wales trying to reach Hughes. And Strachan down for the moment. It'll be a goal kick. Terry?
Anytime that Strachan's anywhere near the ball, Mickey Thomas is always the first one to go in and tackle him. And I think he just caught him a little bit earlier on there before Strachan went down.
Well, there's the challenge by Mickey Thomas. Halfway through the first half, Wales leading by 1-0. The scorer, Mark Hughes. Goff up, and it'll be a throw to Wales. Kenny Jackett with it. Hughes again, looking to find Mickey Thomas, goes to the challenge of Nicol. A deep one and a dangerous one, but Jim Leighton is there for Scotland. Vanden Hauwe backpedaling, but it came off a Scot, Graham Sharp. Southall planting it to the other end. The head of McLeish getting it back. Here's Robbie James. Phillips. He'll get another go. Less time for that one though, and it leaves a bit of work for Thomas to do. Steve Nicol again. Phillips in quickly like a real little terrier, and Nicol gets it back. Maurice Malpas. David Speedy of Chelsea. Malpas. Strachan. It's Swift challenging again by Vanden Hauwe. Malpas. Ratcliffe was up that time. Feet were too high, a free kick to Wales. Played in again by Nicholas, and a corner for Wales. 25 minutes gone, Wales leading 1-0. Wales, who feel they have that score to settle with Scotland from 1977 in a World Cup qualifier, when they claim it was a handball by Joe Jordan and not by one of their own defenders that gave Scotland a crucial penalty that put them through. There by Mickey Thomas, and a valuable header away by Alex McLeish. Phillips with the throw for Wales. And a free kick to Scotland.
Well, certainly, Brian, Wales be far more inventive than Scotland. They're playing better football. They're looking threatening. Scotland really, in this opening 25 minutes, haven't really created a chance at all, have they? It's been all Wales, and it's been a very, very difficult night for the Scots.
Looking at the game at the moment, Saint, I think they could do with somebody wide. They need a wide player.
Well, everybody thought he would play David Cooper from the start. Now, he's left him on a substitutes bench, but how long he's going to sit there, I don't know. I think we need somebody on, as you say, to do some damage wide.
Jump by Joey Jones, and flicked back by Peter Nicholas. Nicholas, who made the goal for Mark Hughes, by which Wales lead by a goal to nil, with 27 minutes gone. McLeish for Scotland. Vanden Hauwe covering over there. It's a throw to Wales. Which Joey Jones will take now with Huddersfield Town. And Miller gets it back to Jim Leighton, who really kept Scotland in World Cup qualifying terms with a brilliant penalty save in Iceland. Malpas. Jim Bett. And up and under, which McLeish finds first. And here comes Scotland, looking to get the man in wide, Steve Nicol, but Jackett has gone there again and covered him well, even at the expense of a throw to Scotland. Roy Aitken in a bit of trouble, Ian St John.
Yeah, I didn't see what happened there, Brian. I think he's taken a knock in the face. But the Scottish midfield, you know, we expected a battle because the Welshmen battle all the time in the middle of the park. But I feel like we need to, as Terry was saying, we need to try and get away from that minefield and get the ball out to the wings and maybe try and exploit, and maybe even, as I say, exploit Joey Jones, who's playing at right back tonight. And I think David Cooper could do that.
Well, I was going to say, you've got a winger in David Cooper who might be exercising Jock Stein's mind, I would have thought. It's Steve Nicol at the moment, though, with the throw for Scotland. Strachan, Nicol, no problems there for Neville Southall, who is probably the calmest man on the field. Talking to him yesterday in the hotel, he said, nothing seems to worry me, even a World Cup game of this importance.
I was talking to him before the game as well, and he was up the stairs just having a cup of tea, something with his tracksuit on, when he arrived at the ground at 6 o'clock, and he's so nonplussed about the whole thing. I said to him, where were you staying? And he told me, and he said the hotel was full of jocks.
Yes, nothing seems to ruffle him, and that rubs off onto the rest of the team, without any doubt. Here's Mickey Thomas. His infectious enthusiasm does the same. Jack it up this time. Thomas just turning it on, but there's a foul there giving Scotland a free kick, which I think Strachan wanted to take quickly, but David Phillips denied him that possibility. Here's Nicol. Speedy. Strachan, a deep one to the far side. Gough was right up there on the far side. Aitken as well. That's Malpass with the shot. Rush battling with Gough, finding Hughes, in turn looks for Mickey Thomas, but only finds touch. I have to keep looking at the programme when it's number 7 there. I've not seen Stevie Nicol with that spiky haircut. Strachan with this spell. If you've just joined us, 32 minutes gone in this crucial World Cup qualifier. Wales leading by 1-0. Scorer Mark Hughes. Robbie James beaten in the air by McLeish. The linesman flagged on the far side. Two linesmen from Holland as well as the referee. A free kick to Wales. Jerry Jones with it. Towards Ian Rush. But the header was a little too much for him, and a goal kick to Scotland. Terry Yorath is with me, as you know, 59 caps for Wales. Quietly happy with the way things are going, Terry.
Yes, Wales have done well. They started the game off well. They're winning most of the tackles, which might have been expected. And Rush and Hughes are doing a great job on the two central defenders. I think Scotland have got themselves into problems tonight. They're not getting enough width. I think Malpass and Nicol were given that job to try and get some width. But Malpass, all he's doing is running into Robbie James, and Robbie's causing him more problems than he is doing to Wales.
A free kick to Scotland. Strachan, that busy little stride. Rush, who does so much good work when he's tackling back, but he couldn't stop Strachan on that occasion. And Nicol will do well to stop it, but he's done it. Getting it back there for Bet, lurking on this side of the field for almost the first time. And Thomas finds Hughes. Takes it up now with David Phillips.
That was actually a good ball. That was Hughes never followed it up. He played the ball and then just stood back and watched David Phillips. The Phillips, I don't know if Terry agrees with me, I think he's come on a ton in the last couple of years. I think he's becoming a very good player now.
He was a good player when he was playing for Plymouth, and since he's been at Man City, obviously he's improved. He's playing with better players.
Now Nicol for Scotland. Inside for David Speedy. Speedy a little upset, I think, with Jim Bett, who got slightly in his way. But I think it was a fairly ambitious shot, Ian, wasn't it, from that distance in any case?
Well, it's always worth having a pop from around 20 yards, 25 yards, but I mean, we haven't created anything at all, anything, you know, that looked like a chance. And when we've got the ball wide, we've been given bad balls into the box, so they've not gone in at all. So we really don't look as if we can score a goal at the moment.
We said that Wales have hustled and tackled splendidly here tonight, and their manager Mike England says he's never had a squad of players more determined to succeed. Well, they're succeeding by 1-0 Wales at the moment. Here's Speedy. And now little Strachan. Here's Nicol for Scotland. A deep cross again, and the Welsh defenders lining up to get that one away. McLeish knocking it back again towards Bett. Oh, Joey Jones. I thought for a moment he'd laid that on, or rather Robbie James for Bett, but it goes behind for the corner as Gough and McLeish, 2 6-footers, come up. Mike England in the centre of the picture there with Doug Livermore, his right-hand man. Well, the fury of the opening 7 or 8 minutes, when we had McLeish booked after only 3 minutes and a welter of free kicks, the game seems at least to have subsided a little bit in those terms, Ian.
Yes, but I do think that Wales are still winning a lot of the 50-50 balls, and they're not, I don't mean all the defenders. You've got midfield players like Mickey Thomas and David Phillips, who are not giants, you know, and they're winning a share of the ball.
On that point, I think what's great from Wales' point of view is that the 2 strikers are winning tackles.
Well, here's David Phillips of Manchester City, formerly of Plymouth. Terry and Ian were saying how much he's come on in the last year or two. Looking to hurl a long throw into that Scottish penalty area. And a long one it is. Jackett couldn't get to it. Bett hooks it away for Scotland. Speedy hopes to make something of it, but it comes off Thomas. And it'll be Scotland's free kick. Richard Gough. Well struck ball there towards Sharp, and a free kick given for the foul by Vanden Hauwe on Sharp just outside the Welsh penalty area. A little over 8 minutes to go to half-time, and can Scotland, in the shape of Strachan or Bett, conjure up something from a promising free kick? 2, 4, 6 in the wall plus Speedy, and chipped behind for the goal kick. Sharp was on the break for it, but it wasn't a particularly good free kick, that, Ian St John.
No, I'm afraid it wasn't. It was too big there for Graham Sharp coming in, and I mean, I think that's sort of typical of the way Scotland are playing tonight. The balls that they're playing up to the front people have been bad, crosses have been very poor, and all in all, really, we haven't got going at all tonight.
Now free kick to Wales. The foul by Alex McLeish on Mark Hughes as they jump for that one. Nicholas to Phillips. There's certainly a bit of bite about the Welsh midfield. Joey Jones has popped up in some promising positions. Leighton not getting his fist to that one. Vanden Hauwe playing it back again. He only half got his fist to that one. And Mark Hughes, who is noted for his overhead kicks, couldn't quite get it on the mark for Wales. Leighton always under pressure with his punching. And Hughes couldn't quite turn it back into goal. Goal kick to Scotland. Jones couldn't get a hold of that one. Speedy couldn't either. And look at the terrier tactics of little Mickey Thomas getting in there for Wales when most it was needed. What a night this is, as Scotland now come back looking for the equalising goal. Miller. Aitken didn't connect. Jackett. If anybody was expecting a classic in footballing terms tonight, they were fools, because it was always going to be too much red meat about this night for that to happen. But it's pulsating and nerve-tingling stuff for all that. A mighty kick by Leighton. Vanden Hauwe underneath it. Aitken with a shot and a goal kick. Not quite a clean header by Vanden Hauwe, and plenty of time for Southall to guide that one past the post. Flag is up on the far side, presumably for offside. A free kick to Scotland at any rate. The mathematics of this group, let me remind you if you've just joined us, in fact it's a throw, are so complicated. I just hope if the temperature drops a little bit I might be able to explain it to you, but basically just keep it into your minds that Scotland will be looking for at least a draw or a win. Wales looking for a win, and at the moment Wales are leading 1-0. That's not a bad ball at all for Willie Miller. Playing it wide again, but the flag is up here for an offside against Steve Nicol. Free kick to Wales inside the last 5 minutes of the first half.
I just wonder how long Jock's team will persist with the sweeper system, because what's happening is that Stevie Nicol, who's playing wide on the right, has got no support behind him. You know, when he plays at Liverpool, Phil Neal is always there behind him to back him up, and you can attack down the flanks, but tonight we've had no backup at all for certainly down the right-hand side here.
Well, that's another little poser for Jock Stein, the Scotland manager. 62 years old, and Jock has certainly been through the fires, but I doubt if many of the fires have had the heat of Ninian Park tonight about them. Here's Willie Miller. That in its way, I think, shows the lack of composure there is in the Scottish side at the moment. Willie appeared to have plenty of time to make a much better ball than that. There's Kenny Jackett there, who will get the throw now for Wales. Hughes. The foot that came from behind him belonged to Richard Gough. Strachan. Tenacious little bit of play by him, and he finds Miller. In turn finds Bett, but an offside flag is off against Malpas. And there is the flag, and there is Malpas.
Although Malpas was offside there, that's the first time he's got in behind Wales on that left-hand side. That's the first time he's lost Robbie James.
Well, the Dutchman's flag held up Scotland provides Wales with this free kick, which Joey Jones will take. Rush is up there. Well, the Dragon of Wales, as one newspaper put it today, has got to spit fire, which it is. So a lovely banner, Rush the Magic Dragon, Ian.
Well, yeah, Rush the Magic Dragon, but it's his partner up front there, Mark Hughes, who's done the damage so far.
A throw to Wales. Certainly Wales having the better of it, but as their manager Mike England says, you've got to concentrate and be patient for 90 minutes, because a game can be won and lost in just 1 second. Wales leading 1-0 as we come towards the last minute of the first half. Mark Hughes, their scorer. Rush played for Thomas, battling away, a free kick for Wales. And certainly Thomas is lasting the pace extremely well. Here's Roy Aitken there, with just 3 reserve games behind him this season. Brandon Howe, we saw him briefly. I think he's had a very good game at the back for Wales tonight.
He played ever so well against Spain when I saw him playing his first game, I think it was, Brian, wasn't it? In the World Cup at Wrexham. He played very well alongside Ratcliffe. It's a good pairing, that.
Thomas again. That's a nice little ball, played for Jackett and played it early, but not accurately enough. Whoa! Leighton's missed it! Oh, and he got it back in time. Hughes had pounced. Leighton's concentration wavered for a moment. The bounce off his knees almost put Hughes in, but Leighton redeemed himself. Now Speedy on the chase. Goal kick.
Actually, when you look back at that there, Mark Hughes had stopped running because he thought the goalkeeper was going to pick it up. Had he continued to move, had he been going towards the goals, he would have snapped that one up.
Welsh crowd whistling for the half-time whistle. On my watch, it's a matter of 5 seconds or so away. Should be a little bit of time, possibly for stoppages. Came off Nicholls' head, and Gough gets it back to Leighton. A massive clearance. Jackett closing on Speedy, and Scotland get a throw. Nicholl with the throw. Nicholl getting it back, and a corner for Scotland. I saw the referee with his watch to his ear. In this noise, I don't think for a moment he would hear whether it was going or not. Now the Scottish voice is raised, hoping that Strachan's corner can produce something. Gough with the header! And it was Sharp who got right in there, but it was a Welsh boot that put it behind. It's another corner, and in the dying seconds of the first half, that's the corner. In the dying seconds of the first half, Wales under a lot of pressure. Floated in once more, and again, and Southall brilliantly saving from Speedy. Real moments of peril here for Wales, and good work by Southall. Half-time whistle. Wales leading by 1-0 in this crucial game, scored by Mark Hughes. And that's the crowd that is making so much noise. We'll get a break, and then we'll get the views of Jimmy Greaves with Jim Rosenthal. Wales 1, Scotland 0.
The driving seat, and by the sound of it behind us, the teams are coming out. Here come the Scots. Those of you watching in Scotland, your commentators, Joe Jordan alongside Jock Brown, and for the rest of us, Terry Yorath, Ian St John and Brian Moore.
Thank you, Jim. Well, I can see that you're looking around, Ian, to see whether there are any substitutions and so on, but what is the answer there?
No, Jock hasn't made any substitutions at the moment.
Well, they've got a substitute goalkeeper. Alan Ruff is in goal for Jim Leighton.
Well, that is interesting. Possibly Leighton had some sort of injury. Maybe in that save he made at the end when the ball came off his legs and he had to go down at Walsh's feet.
I don't know if it's significant, Brian, but Strachan's lining up here on the left-hand side. Now, whether they're going to play him as a wide left man now.
just heard from the dressing room area that Jim Leighton has got a bang in the eye, is feeling groggy, and that is why he's not out for the second half. Alan Rough then in goal for Scotland, and Wales leading by 1-0. No substitution in the goal at the other end. Here's Neville Southall. Gough versus Rush. Rush is not out of this one yet. Trying to get some support from Hughes. A free kick to Scotland.
Well, Gordon Strachan is lined up for Scotland on the left-hand side here, so possibly Jock Stein thinks that maybe we should be attacking more down the left and let Strachan have a go at Joey Jones.
Nicholas gets it away to Hughes. Good play by him. Good ball by Nicholas now for Robbie James. And a corner for Wales. I have to say to you that they've kept the volume well turned up here in Ninian Park. I've got Ian St John and Terry York no more than about 6 inches away from me, and I haven't heard a single word they've said all night. I hope you have. That's the sort of noise we've got, and the sort of fervour at Ninian Park as another corner goes in, and it'll be another one as Jones just failed to turn it on, and Gough it was who put it behind for another Welsh corner. Again with the corner, and again Gough just got above Joey Jones. Played wide there by Phillips, and a good ball too, and Thomas just kept it in, and his cross goes in, and Rush was up there with a whiplash header but didn't quite make the right connection. The whole shape of it was right, but Scotland in the end get a throw. Ball out of play, and a throw to Wales with Joey Jones. Shoving the back on Hughes by McLeish, a free kick to Wales. Joey Jones got away by McLeish to Sharp, trying to get Speedy through the middle. Again, Thomas is in there, battling away, and what's happened? It's a throw to Scotland. In fact, it's a free kick to Scotland. Thomas just a little too energetic in his challenge on Speedy. Steve Nicol with the free kick for Scotland. The noise, I can't remember a night like it. Sharp couldn't get a header to it. It was Hughes back in defence who got it away, and Willie Miller now. Scotland in the meantime warming up Davy Cooper on the far side. And Maurice Johnston, it looks. Two front men. Now Rough. Plenty of World Cup experience from Alan Rough. Joey Jones getting that header. Now Hughes for Wales, and James couldn't keep it in. Alan Rough. Andy Gray warming up as well. Well, there's Cooper. Plays wide for Rangers. Jones thought about a pass back, but felt that might have been a bit dangerous. decided to play the safe way out. Andy Gray. I think it will be interesting from Scotland's point of view to see Gray and Sharp together again. Phillips away for Wales. Miller. Rush was at him again.
It's amazing how Ian Rush can make up 10 yards so quickly on a defender. Willie Miller thought he'd all the time in the world, and Rush was in there to block him.
Strachan, but straight to Nicholas. Robbie James. Willie Miller backpedaling. The header finding Aitken. Played through towards Nicol, but Jackett is across there with the saving challenge, but the bounce goes well for Nicol, but it was that little Welshman Mickey Thomas again in there. A throw to Scotland with Richard Gough. Scotland, remember, wanting at least a draw out of this game, but they're behind by a goal to nil, scored by Mark Hughes in the first half. 5 minutes of the second half gone. Again Thomas. What a hero's part he's played. Two Welshmen up for that one. That's looking like a foul, but yes, it's given. A foul by Phillips on Nicol. Strachan behind it. McLeish is going forward. It's Strachan who takes it. Jones has spotted McLeish and has gone across there to mark him. Good jump that time by Ratcliffe. Now Hughes, challenged by Aitken. Thomas gets it away, but Miller will pick it up now for Scotland. Oh, he gave Strachan no chance there, and Rush tackled into the back of Strachan, and Rush is going to be booked. It certainly was a very, very tough challenge there by Rush on Strachan. So Rush and McLeish are the two people booked. As Willie Miller now, they're going to make a substitution, Scotland. Jock Stein, you just saw perhaps on the right of the picture, holding up the number 7. It will be Stevie Nicol. It's Stevie Nicol who goes off. Ian?
Well, Nicol's looking in some disbelief. It's obviously a big surprise to him to be taken off.
And Cooper coming on.
I think the sole purpose of that, Ian, is to get Strachan back on the right-hand side, so as Cooper can come over here on the left-hand side and they'll look a bit more balanced then.
That's right, but you know, Stevie Nicol, I think, is such a good player. It surprises me that he's taken him off. I mean, Nicol's still on the field at the moment.
So a certain no, they've decided it's number 8 who's coming off. It's Gordon Strachan.
And I just see Mike England clapping his hands then when he saw the number 8 go up.
Really? Truly?
Yes, he was clapping his hands.
So he was fearing obviously two wingers, Strachan and Cooper. Instead of that, Nicol stays on, Cooper comes on, and Strachan goes off. A little pick by Rush for Hughes, and here come Wales again. Support from Robbie James, still with Hughes all the way. Canada Vim, oh my goodness, of all people, Ian Rush. That was a glorious chance for Wales. A great run here by Hughes, and a really nasty deflection that took the ball into the path of Ian Rush. And just look at that.
Well, that was another let-off for Scotland there, wasn't it? It's not often you see Ian Rush missing a chance like that, but I think the deflection beat him.
Southall will get there first. Whoa! And Speedy told to calm down. He's a fiery little customer. I think he was suspended 4 times last season, David Speedy. He's been sent off once this season, playing for Chelsea, and Jock Stein made a point in picking him and saying, I've told him to cool it. Well, I think his enthusiasm got the better of him, but I think Neville Southall saw him coming. Now, Rush after this one. Gough is right there with him. Support from Kenny Jackett for Wales. A flick on to Hughes. Miller's out there to try and deal with that bit of trouble. And succeeds in doing so, partially at any rate. But Jackett plants it in once more, but I think yes, the ball was out of play. It'll be a Scottish throw. Well, there's little Gordon Strachan. I think you're a little surprised, aren't you, Terry, that Terry Orth, that he was taken off?
I'm surprised, yes, but at the same time, Mickey Thomas was giving him a very hard time. Mickey was tackling wherever he got the ball, and he wasn't the force in this game that I've seen him in other games.
Goal kick. In point of fact, Jock Stein very often doesn't seem to have a great deal of faith in Gordon Strachan. He doesn't pick him that often, and when he does, he very often seems to get substituted, Ian.
Well, that's right, but I don't think he played him in the right position for starters. I mean, Nicol was playing wide, and then Strachan was playing inside him. And I think the little fella's always happy when he's a wide player.
Wales looking for a second goal that would probably seal it, leading by 1-0, and here's Robbie James leading the charge for them once more. Bet will get it back to Alan Rough, on for Jim Leighton in this second half. Leighton, who had a bang on the eye and is feeling groggy. Jones gets it away. Talking in the first half about that tremendous game at Anfield in 1977 when Scotland beat Wales 2-0. Joey Jones and Mickey Thomas are Wales's sole survivors from that night. And again they get it away. Not very far. Aitken putting it in. Brandon Howe hustled to the extent that he had to put it into touch. But it flicked off a Scot, so it'll be a Welsh throw. Speedy, Sharp, Phillips. Miller. Thomas going in as though his life depended upon it, but Scotland got a good possession there. Vanden Hauwe getting it away, not very far. There's Cooper. Now can he tease something out of Wales here? He's gone past Robbie James. A little deflection there. There's going to be a corner. The Scottish banners come up behind that goal. There was the deflection that brought about the corner. Cooper with the corner for Scotland. And that's going to be a goal kick.
I must say, I think if we can get the ball out to David Cooper, he could do some damage down this left-hand side. He's a very skillful player. Sometimes he plays in games and he doesn't really impose himself on it too often, but when he does, he's a very, very good player.
For him to impose himself on the game now, they've got to give him the ball all the time until he's fed up with it.
James up well, winning it in the air above Malpass. Nicholas, who's had a fine game for Wales in the midfield. Oh, but Rush has given that away to Cooper. Joey Jones was in. And what is that, a throw or a free kick? It's a free kick to Scotland. Maurice Malpass with it. The lad from Dundee United. And an offside. A well-drilled Welsh defence there, caught at least 3 of them offside. Very pensive-looking Welsh manager, Mike England. My goodness, what it would mean to him and his career if he could push Wales through to qualification in Mexico. Here's Robbie James. They're looking for that second goal. Willie Miller gets it back to Alan Rough. Free kick again to Scotland. Foul by Joey Jones on David Speedy. with Malpass. Phillips getting back and doing some good covering there. And it was, as the Scottish voice on my right said, a bad ball. And it was easy for David Phillips to put it away into touch. Aitken with a long throw and a good one. Goal kick.
I think Wales have got to start getting hold of the ball now, Brian. They're giving it away too much and letting Scotland just creep their way back into this game. And it doesn't look good, especially corners and free kicks.
I just noticed Peter Nicholas clapping his hands and urging a greater effort from people around him. And I think a lot of credit to the Welsh midfield tonight, Terry. You'd know all about that. The likes of Nicholas and Phillips. Let's just see what happens here first. Hughes playing it back to Jones. It'll come through to Mark Hughes again off Jim Bett. Here's Nicholas, who's having such a good game, finding Rush. Played for Joey Jones. Nicholas again. A little clip one towards Mickey Thomas and behind. No, not for the corner. Nodded back comfortably for Alan Rock. Well, that Speedy might get after this one. Jackett's going with him. It left too much for Speedy to do, but the covering by Jackett was superb. What about the Welsh midfield?
The Welsh have always had a strong midfield and they've always played as a unit, and that's exactly what they're doing tonight. Peter Nicholas is having a great game for Wales. His passing is very good and his tackling's been great. The two other boys...
Speedy left too much to do there. Yes, go on, the other two.
The two other boys, Mickey Thomas and Phillips, have done a great job in getting Strachan out of the game, so they've done their job.
No fewer than 4 Welsh substitutes warming up at the moment, whether that's as a G-up to the people on the field or whether just to keep the muscles nice and supple, I don't know. Rush. Brandon Howe. Joey Jones urging those famous old Welsh legs of his to the ball and get it into touch. It's going to be a tremendous test of nerve for everybody, not least for the Welsh defenders, with a quarter of an hour just over of the second half gone, and Wales still hanging to this 1-goal lead given them by Mark Hughes. Here's Cooper. This could be trouble for Wales. Oh my goodness, how did that fail to go in? Right across inside the 6-yard area, and it was a Welsh boot that put it back again. This is a better spell for Scotland. Willie Miller pumping it forward. Ratcliffe only getting it wide for Nicol. A chance for him to turn it back towards Jim Bett. Joey Jones was up for Wales. Here's Cooper again, brought down. Play on, said the referees, playing an advantage. Malpass on the ball. Played wide to the far side, and now a goal kick. Ian St John.
Well, David Cooper has made a big difference to Scotland's attacks as they come on. The skill he showed there when he took Joey Jones on, and then he has there going along the byline. Terrific football, and that's really the likeliest we've looked to score a goal all night. So let's hope, keep our fingers crossed from the Scotsman's point of view, that he can do it again.
I'm glad you added that from Scotland's point of view. I think Terry Arthur on the other side of me would be uncrossing them if you were crossing them. But here come Wales again. A throw to Wales. A defeat for Scotland almost certainly means they're out of the World Cup unless something astonishing happens in Seville later this month when Iceland go to play Spain. Hughes looked for a moment as though he was being pulled from around the back by Willie Miller. That's a dangerous game to play in the penalty area, and the referee was no more than 7 or 8 yards away. It's a throw for Wales. Dangerous game is that. A long throw by Phillips. Phillips again. Might come for Rush. What a struggle this is. Nicol. You get a feeling that the tide is beginning to turn a little bit for Scotland. They've put better moves together in the second half. As Ian was saying, Cooper on the field has caused more problems for Wales than they faced in the whole of the first half. Here's Ratcliffe. Got a quiet, steadying sort of game at the back for Wales tonight. There are a few Welsh fingernails that will be gnawed in the next 25 minutes. Hughes. Nice, delicate skills. He was dumped to the ground. But Nicholas tried to find James. And the ball in possession of Alan Rough again. Mighty clearance to put the Welsh defence under pressure. Speedy lurking to see if he can cause a little more mischief. Nice little chip by him, but Joey Jones covering well for Wales then. Back for Speedy again. That was a nice touch by him to Nicol. The Scots looking so much more menacing now. But here's David Phillips, Ian Rush, and now Mickey Thomas. A long ball forward to Hughes. Well, the quality of the football leaves a certain amount to be desired, but the quality of the occasion is absolutely unbeatable at the moment. As Scotland come again and find Malpass. The cross comes in, and Sharp on the far side couldn't quite get a touch.
The right-hand side of the Welsh team at the moment is looking very tired. Robbie James and Joey Jones, since Cooper have come on, he's changed the game for Scotland, but they're looking tired.
Your hopes are rising in St John.
Well, every minute, yes. They are looking a little bit ragged now, the Welsh, and we have put some passes together. We're looking a bit dangerous.
Remember, a draw is enough to enable Scotland at least to progress in the World Cup into a playoff with the winners of the Oceanic Group. But at the moment, they're still this goal behind, and Marr and Hughes bundle off the ball there by Aitken. Quick clearance though by Rough, finding Speedy. Joey Jones for Wales. What a battle now. Robbie James, the Welsh beginning to tire, and the Scots beginning to see a bit of hope. Joey Jones' header falling straight to Davy Cooper, and now for Jim Bett, who scored a priceless goal in Iceland earlier in the summer. That's a goal kick. Halfway through the second half. There was never going to be much in it, but it's as close and as gripping as we all thought it would be. Hughes. Brandon Howe being harassed by Speedy. Scotland's throw. Certainly a Scottish equaliser looks very much on the cards, in spite of the fantastic support for the Welsh side from their crowd. Malpass with the throw, a bit of space for Cooper. Malpass again for Scotland. A long, long cross. Jackett's header being picked up here by Steve Nicol. He's gone past Thomas. There's another cross coming in. Came off the Welshman for another Scottish corner. 24 minutes of the second half gone. Wales 1-0, but being pushed back all the time by Scotland. McLeish has gone up for this one. And Richard Gough, the two 6-footers. Curling in. And again, there's little respite for the Welsh. It wasn't much of a contact from Hughes. And here's Speedy. Bett. Tried to get a corner, gets a throw. Off Brandon Howe. Joey Jones, manfully up again. Miller collecting for Scotland, turned inside by Bett. Cooper trying to get Bett on his way again, and Phillips turns it away into touch.
Wales are soaking up a bit of pressure here, but when they're clearing the ball, they're not finding a Welsh shirt, and if they could and sustain a little bit of play, then they take the pressure off themselves.
Wales, in fact, have hardly been out of their own half for the last 4 or 5 minutes. Robbie James gets it away. Rush trying to make contact there. A real juddering challenge there from Willie Miller. And here's Hughes for Wales. Aitken too strong. A free kick for Wales. Jones with the free kick, taking his time, giving his Welsh colleagues a chance of a moment or two's breather. Wales leading 1-0. Jones with the free kick, but hit and wasted as it goes straight through to Alan Rough. The snap for the moment has gone out of Wales. Cooper. Foul by Vanden Hauwe. Jumping into Graham Sharp, a free kick to Scotland. The pressure is on Mike England and his men, with 20 minutes remaining, and Wales leading 1-0. Speedy. Malpass. Well, Nichols trying to get in there, and Southall stops the ball from going over for the corner. As the little cross came in. McLeish jumping all over Hughes. The ball coming to Robbie James, given away, but it comes back again for Peter Nicholas. Rush trying to hold it up for a moment, but it was a funny old ball for him. Mark Hughes, will he find something here? No, it's a goal kick.
Well, you can never rest easy when Mark Hughes is around there, Brian. You know, and although we're getting a lot of the ball at the moment, every time it comes into our half of the field, the Scottish half of the field, you've got to start worrying about Russian Hughes.
And when you get, or Scotland get into the Welsh half, they've still got to beat this fella, Neville Southall. No finer goalkeeper in the First Division. Speedy just onside. Sharp up supporting him. Bett is coming up at a tremendous rate just behind him, and just too high for Sharp. Nicholl, though, is on the far side. An opportunity to turn it back. Crossed in once more by him towards Graham Sharp, and just wide. They look more menacing by the minute now.
Well, that was a good ball by Stevie Nicholl. Really into the heart of the Welsh defence. And the header just wide. But at least now we're getting good balls in, Brian. We're beginning to put effective balls into the box.
Jacket away. Rush on the chase. Gough is there with him. Hughes making the first move, and he just got a half a yard there on McLeish. But again, Wales can't put their moves together. That's a worrying aspect, Terry Orth.
That's been happening the whole of this second half. When we've had play and we've had possession of the ball, we're giving it away straight away.
Had a sight of the Welsh substitutes there. Nicholas, he's got spirit enough and legs enough to keep him going. Here he is again. But again, he can't find his man, and here he is again. This time he has. He's found Phillips. And in turn, it comes to James. Now Rush and Hughes are waiting in the middle. That's a good deep cross. No, it's not such a good one. You find your heart beating the faster by the minute, Ian.
Well, yes, what is it now? 15 minutes to go. We have 15 minutes to get a goal.
15 minutes for Scotland to keep their World Cup ambitions going. If they get beaten, they've got to look for a miracle from Iceland, but speed is on its way. No penalty, the referee didn't want to know. Speedy thought it was. The referee took one look and decided 100% against it. Let's look again, Ian St John.
Well, he certainly had the little edge on the defenders there. I would have thought it was a foul, Terry, possibly just outside the box.
If it was a foul, it was just outside, but Wales were very square there.
Actually, a little Speedy has picked up in the second half. He had a very quiet first half, but he's looking quite dangerous at the moment.
Speedy again. Well, can Robbie James get in there? He can. Oh, that was a bad challenge by Gough. And the referee's allowed it to go on. That's extraordinary. Well, if it was a foul on Speedy a moment ago, it was certainly a foul then on Mark Hughes. Now Phillips. Oh, bad ball for Wales. But Joey Jones is back there, will shepherd it back to Neville Southall. Or maybe it
Not
wasn't.
really. That was never
maybe
a
it
foul.
wasn't.
Never a foul at all. I think Mark Hughes, we said in the first half, didn't we, that sometimes Mark goes in and falls around and, you know, makes things look worse than probably what they are.
Hughes for Wales. Nicholas played into that dangerous man rush. And then Phillips with a shot that hits the roof of the stand. 13 minutes are left and Wales are still leading by a goal to nil. One of their few attacks in the second half. Rush just laying it back there for Phillips. Way over the top.
That's the kind of goal that Phillips scored, you know, from way out. Powerful shot.
Off Vanden Howell, a Scottish throw. And you wonder if Wales can hold out. Cooper, off Joey Jones and a corner. Cooper with a corner. Aitken has come up into the box. McLeish is up there too. Hit in low. And Jackett just got there first. He's bought a second or two of time, but not much more because it's back with Cooper. Not a very good cross, but they might get another chance. It's with Malpass. It's a throw, I think.
Every time that Cooper
Jock
gets the
Stein
ball.
there, sorry, Terry, Jock Stein there. Agonising moments for him. The manager and Alec Ferguson on the right of the picture there must want to kick every ball and certainly keep looking at the watch, yes. About, well, 12 minutes to go. Cooper with another corner then for Scotland. The Scots want to draw, but Southall saves.
I was saying every time that Cooper gets the ball, I'm frightened. I'm frightened for Wales.
Well, that was quite a formality for Neville Southall.
Well, Scotland have tried a short corner kick to the near post throughout the game and have never once got the touch on they were looking for to nod it back to the far post.
Jackett gets it away. Rush is up there. But I think McLeish will get there first, decides against the pass back, is hustled into a half error there by Rush. Nicholas finding Hughes. Might come for Thomas, the little chip by him. Phillips is in there. Thomas is in there. And Rush had to save. Nicholas again. What a storming match. The flag up for offside. Free kick to Scotland.
Well, I think Mickey Thomas has been the star man for Wales tonight. You know, I think he's done everything in midfield. He's really had a superb game, and that would have crowned it had he caught that one clean.
Jackett with a header. Hughes coming deep to help out. Can Scotland get this important equalising goal? Exactly 10 minutes left. That looked a handball, and it's a penalty. Scotland. Well, the Welsh bench distraught. But Southall has some work to do. The cross floated in. There's no doubt the ball struck the hand of David Phillips.
I think that's a harsh decision myself.
Well, he did handle the ball, Terry, but I'm sure it was accidental, but he did handle the ball. And
Well, certainly the ball hit his hand.
Now, I wonder who would be in Davy Cooper's boots now. He scored! Scotland have equalised. They might have well have saved themselves with 9 minutes to go. Oh, and he got his hands to it, but couldn't stop it going in. What a finale now. When you think it was a disputed penalty back in 77 that got Wales out of the World Cup and Scotland forward, Robbie James is going off and Steve Lovell of Millwall comes on. And now Wales have been hit by another penalty. But can they save it? Lovell is in there trying to get in on the action. Rush finds Thomas. Played it for Rush! Oh, and he delayed his shot for a moment. And that was enough. But suddenly Rush was right in there. Lovell again with a header. A fresh pair of legs and a fresh pair of lungs. Can he save it yet for Wales? No, it's a free kick for Scotland. A reprieve then for Scotland inside the last 10 minutes. And the flags and the banners from north of the border are flying. Just listen to them. Jacket, hustled by Sharp. Now Nicol. The Scots looking for a win, but would be happy at the moment with the draw. A draw now could mean an exit for Wales, unless Iceland can do something miraculous against Spain later this month. Mickey Thomas is coming off. And Clayton Blackmore, a youngster from Manchester United, is on. Made his first appearance for Wales against Norway in the summer. A young man with an enormous job to do now for Wales. Jacket. Well, a miscue by Beck, but Wales, through Rush, couldn't get hold of it. And Scotland really have dominated this second half. Lovell chasing after this one, but McLeish is not going to let him get in with that one, and it'll be a throw to Wales. 6 minutes are left. Nicholas, can Wales come back again? In for Peter Nicholas. If they could get it through Hughes or Rush, anything could still happen. Sharp coming back and doing a good tackling job for Scotland. Similarly, Joey Jones for Wales, and it's Hughes who picks his way out of that one. Mark Hughes for Wales. Can he find a way through? He can't. Speedy. Goff. Played in again towards Aitken. And down goes Southall. A quick clearance. Time is precious for Wales now. A little over 5 minutes left. 1-1 the score. Lovell, chased by McLeish, a throw to Wales. Kevin Ratcliffe. Nice little ball there for Hughes. And a shot off target, a goal kick for Scotland. Well, how should Scotland play it now, Ian?
Kick the ball in the crowd and let them keep a hold of it. I mean, it's going to be a hectic last 5 minutes. I mean, it's all end-to-end stuff now. All the nerves will be jangling. But I think we have got to try and keep a hold of the ball if we can in this pressure atmosphere. Try and keep a hold of it and get it down into the corners, if you like. You know, keep it down in the corner of the Welsh area. Mind you, that's easier said than done.
But in this atmosphere, anything's possible. It's Jock Stein. Tough old moments these for Jock. A little flick on, but Ratcliffe will get it back to Neville Southall, who is so aware that time is such a precious commodity now for Wales. He's got to get it forward. Nicholas to Rush, to Hughes. And now for Phillips. Crossed in again towards Rush. Tremendous bit of work there. And a free kick for the challenge by Rush. Malfasted well. Well, the dynamic duo of Hughes and Rush, you dare not take your eyes off them for a single solitary second. And Wales have about 4 minutes left. 1-1. Here's Cooper. Sharp is waiting in the middle. And on the far side is Nicol, kicked off the line by Vanden Hauwe. Lovell playing it forward, but there are no red shirts there.
Again, it was David Cooper who caused all the damage there. A great ball to Speedy and off the line there. But, you know, Scotland, I think, even could score another goal even in this dying seconds.
Speedy had such an improved second half, David Speedy. Here he is again. Wide towards Nicol. Oh, backhanded by Ratcliffe, and Speedy is in! And Southall saves it twice. Mistake by Ratcliffe.
Well, we should have scored. That was a terrific chance and the ball just ran away from David Speedy there. But because the Welsh are committed, you know, Scotland are breaking and getting in there now.
A long throw. Speedy in there, the fist of Southall. Lovell gets it away. Gough plays it back. Sharp is in there, the little header. Joey Jones. Now, a great belt forward as we come to the last minute. Can Wales yet retrieve it? They're going through the middle, and they found Mark Hughes. A little chip in towards Rush. And Gough got it away for the corner. What drama now. Wales who need a goal, and Scotland who must deny them it. And we have a matter of seconds left in this pulsating World Cup qualifier in Cardiff. Phillips with the corner. Nobody there to flick it on for Wales. Nicholas trying to retrieve it. A missed kick there by Bett. Will that go for another corner? No, it won't, but it's a throw for Wales. Nicholas wants to get a long throw in, but he's leaving it now to David Phillips. The last gasp chance for Wales. Joey Jones is right in there. Nicholas too, another, oh, that looked like a corner, but he's given a goal kick.
Is he playing overtime, this referee, by the way, Brian?
Yes, just now. We're in time added on.
I thought so.
It's a draw that should be enough to allow Scotland to progress. 1 point, unless Iceland can win in Spain or draw in Spain, will not be enough for Wales. Wales still have that slightly better goal difference than Spain, but it means that Iceland would need to go there and draw. It's so complicated, but it's such a relief for Scotland to have got that penalty right at the end. It's Gough with it. They've played time, added on for injuries. It's flicked in, and the final whistle, and Scotland have got the draw they wanted with the penalty by Cooper after Hughes had scored that early goal for Wales. No wonder the Scottish banners and flags are flying. But what an amazing night of dramatic football.